Is it possible to do a K-swap without spending over $1,000? Well, I decided to find out. Starting with a $500 marketplace accord, some tools in my driveway, and some questionable answers from ChatGPT. But the farther I dive in, the more I start to wonder, can I really do this?
I've failed. Today's the day we've been waiting for the whole time. If I keep my head down and if I do things right, we might be able to start this thing up today. For the sake of clearance, I decided to just go with a power steering pump delete idler.
And to install it, I first had to remove the power steering pump. Only 2 bolts, and it came right off. And then in its place, I bolted on the new idler pulley with the new hardware that came with it and got the belt on.
Put that on there. Gets me a new belt. Bypasses the air conditioning for right now, so I'm not spinning it until I get the lines built. And really the big thing is it just gives me a ton of clearance because it's nice and low, it's adjustable. But yeah, the next thing we need to do is get this battery box mounted up here, so that means I gotta take the bumper bar off and get some wires made.
The bumper bar was super easy to remove, just 4 12mm head bolts, and it comes right off and gives us clearance.
So I wanted to ensure that I have room to clear these clamps. With the tire fully turned. I'm not really ever going to go a bigger size diameter tire because I like a small wheel tire on a Civic. I probably could have designed this so it didn't hang out as far, and I could even trim some of it off, but there is clearance for now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I built this on a bench and didn't even really have anything for reference other than the battery, but if I did it again, I would probably make some sort of slimmer hardware setup, but it'll work either way. So this is going to go up in here. So what I'm going to do, take the battery out, drill the back of this, make the frame match it, and then we'll put some rip nuts in. I bought a new tool from Amazon. Yay, new tools. And we'll rib nut this, put that up, bolt it in. We'll have a remote mounted battery, and then we can start making some cables. I thought it'd be a good idea before drilling and mounting this, is just to make sure it's going to clear with the bumper on. And seems like there's plenty of room, so we'll get to mounting. Alright, with my cordless battery dead, which seems to be a common affair, break out the old corded drill I've had for 20 years, and we'll drill that. This will not have its battery die. We're going to drill a pilot hole to line all these up, and then we will open them up and use the rib nut tool to put the inserts in. I got this rib nut tool from Amazon for like 30 bucks. Hopefully it works out good. I didn't really want to just do like nut and bolt, which is possible, but like that one goes into the frame rail, so that would be a real pain. I didn't want to just use a sheet metal screw because we were going to have a battery hanging off of this thing, so my thought was go with the rib nuts. That seemed to go pretty easy, so hopefully I'll countersink the battery tray and we'll get some bolts and hopefully just bolt this right up, easy peasy.
I then lined up the 4 bolts and fastened them down securely.
Have it on, and for whatever reason lining everything up was a bigger pain than I imagined. This isn't totally flat, so just some of the angles of the metal I think were throwing me for a loop, and the drill bit must have walked a little bit, but we will do one more bumper fit check, and then we'll get the battery in there and we will start figuring out cable routing. It's right where it wouldn't be able to get it much out more because it actually is really close to touching right here. But we made it, so let's get the battery in there. Looks like I have to do a little clearancing.
For my main cables, I use 4 gauge wires. I hooked one to the starter and then one to the engine block. I then routed them safely and ran them over to the battery, where I cut them to length, crimped on new ends, and put some heat shrink on them. While I worked at the front of the car, my wife and son decided to start working on the suspension at the rear, starting with taking off the wheels and beginning to unbolt the suspension arms, unbolt the shocks, and then get ready to install all of the new parts. While they have been working on the coilovers in the back, I feel like RoboCop talking to the camera like that. I have been wiring up the rest of the main cables. So I wired the fuse box to the battery and jumped that over to the alternator so they both have power. The alternator can charge the battery. Let's see if this thing turns over. Well, that's a good sign. Nothing. Immobilizer's not wired up though, so. Well, we had a victory and a failure. So victory, we have power. Failure, nothing happened when we turned the key, just kind of everything shut down. So I'm assuming that's an immobilizer thing. I did not hear the fuel pump. So hopefully we'll wire the immobilizer power and ground up, and then when we turn the key next time, we'll hear the fuel pump engage and be able to turn it over. We have a mess of wiring. We have the key zip tied into the immobilizer. Let's put the key in the Civic and see what happens. I did not hear the fuel pump. Nothing. Alright, so I've been playing with the wiring a lot, and I think I might actually have heard a click from the starter relay, so I am going to, I think the battery's dead, so I'm going to use this, it's a top-down jump starter. It's kind of crazy because like the ones that we had in the shops I worked in were always like these huge, heavy to lug around briefcase looking things. And now the little lithium ions, I mean, it's kind of wild, but we're gonna hook this thing up and see if we can turn this motor over. Green light, let's see what happens. Oh, that's progress. All right, so we have it cranking over. Fuel pump is not kicking on. I did look at the 05 Accord. It has a different pin out than the earlier models, so I moved a pin over, but I don't know that it's getting power. So we're gonna look at that next, make sure that that pin is actually getting power and find out where we're losing it, because we have power to the fuse, and I pinned it to the 05 Accord. So we'll see. All right, I found that my OBD2 had no grounds, so I just grounded the valve cover because I noticed the harness only has a ground at the valve cover. And there's a gasket there, so I have a little power probe ground in that right now. I'm gonna see if that makes a difference. $16 codes. Let's erase these. Yeah. Turn the key off. Turn it back on and see if we hear a fuel pump. Oh, that fuel pump.
I saw it. It went shroom and then back down.
Just reattach our jump starter so we get, it turns itself on. Did we lose fuel pressure?
I think so.
There's a gauge on it. What's the read?
10?
It's the same as before.
Oh.
And it didn't go up and down like last time.
It's priming and stopping, so that's a plus. It's hard to believe, but only 94% of my viewers are actually subscribed. And you probably want to do that because we like to do free giveaways. And as we started in our last video, and we're going to finish off after this video, we're giving away a free shirt. Building on a budget. You got to get this shirt. It's going to be one of a kind. I don't have it on the website. It's just going to be for whoever wins the giveaway. I'm going to make it just for you, just in your size. It's a nice, like, we call them a UV shirt, or in Florida we like to call them a fishing shirt. All you have to do is drop a comment below about anything, literally anything. You can tell me that eBay is the wrong place to buy parts for Hondas. I won't believe you, but you can tell me that. You can tell me, why did you take so long to tighten these motor mount bolts? But I got to it eventually. Whatever you want to say, anything you got. If you got any tips on something that I should be doing, just drop it below and let me know what's up. And you're entered in a drawing to win a free Building on a Budget shirt. I gotta get the rest of these motor bolts tight. Well, at this point, it seems like I've failed.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
At least with the Immobilizer or something, I don't 100% sure know what I'm going to do to move forward. I might have to try like the K-tuned Immobilizer delete, or there's a few other companies, but all of them say they're for like a PRB, PND type ECU, and mine is an RAD because I don't know if it's an 05 thing. Most of the parts you can get for a K-swap are for 02 to 04, and being an 05 Accord, I'm not sure if it's just pin different or if there's going to be actually other hardware, software type problems that might come from that. So that might be, you know, $220 to $250 I spend, and it's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna have to think this one over tonight and figure out where to go from there. But good news for you is where I'm gonna go from there is like gonna happen right now. All right, I called in a Hail Mary. I just kind of last ditch resort. I messaged the guy that bought my D16 out of this car from me because he had said he had done some K-swaps, and I was hoping maybe he had some inside information. And what he realized is my ECU, my wiring harness I got is 02 to 04, and the pin connectors for connector A and B are actually different than on an 05. So he sent me not only the proper diagram I needed, but he sent me a step-by-step, take a wire out of this pin and put it in this pin, and then take that one out and put it in this pin. So I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna do that right now, and hopefully that makes a difference. All right, Sunday morning, fresh start, came out, made a ground strap for the valve cover, just kicks right down to the head. Should get a good connection, not in the way of my coil cover plate. Doesn't look bad, kind of tried to have it just tucked in there. Doesn't really stand out. Heat shrink the ends, crimped it. Tried to crank it over, no luck. I did have the thought, after looking at the codes, it was saying some crank position stuff. I switched these two out right here because I read they both plug in either way. I guess we'll give that a go and see what happens. Fuel pump. Getting really tired of this. All right, let's see what we got. Ready for it to crank and not do anything. forgot to mention, I just launched a Terra-Shark website. It's got a bunch of awesome shirts starting at like $21, flip-flops, all sorts of crazy stuff, stickers. Try to make everything as affordable as possible because it seems like every car shirt website I go on, the t-shirts are $55. I don't want to do that. So they're starting at $21, and if you hit that subscribe button, you can use code SUBSCRIBER for 10% off the already low prices. Just go check it out. Give me a shot. So it finally runs, so that means we got past the Immobilizer delete, repinning it at least, got it to start. Sounds like it's on all 4 cylinders. Obviously, it's doing some sort of rough idle. It kind of did that in the Accord right there at the end. So I imagine it's just some sort of sensor or something like that. Let's read the codes and see where we're at. 10 codes. Rocker arm actuator control circuit high. Engine coolant temp sensor. We don't have any water in it right now. Intake air temp sensor. Yeah, not even hooked up. Mass or volume airflow circuit low. I don't think I have that plugged in. Evap emission system vent valve. We're gonna have that. Rocker arm actuator control circuit high. Coolant temp sensor again. Oh, it just seems like the same codes. All right. Well, I would call this a major victory. I really didn't think I was gonna be able to get it running in this video, so I'm happy to have a little pudding proof. We're proving the pudding, or whatever the saying is. Tell me what it actually is. Looks like we got some codes. Hopefully the high idle goes away. We don't have any OBD2 sensors plugged in, any of that. So hopefully once we get all that in and coolant in and all the sensors wired up, we're gonna be better. Drop a comment below if the fluctuating idle means anything to you. I know there's a lot smarter Honda guys out there than me. I'm just kind of working my way through it, trying to do it as cheap as possible and show you guys that somebody who, you know, pretty much was building Tundras not that long ago can do a Civic. Easy, driveway, cheap, under $1,000. But if you have any clues on what's up, just let me know. And we're running. Finally, we can move on to getting the radiator mounted and things like that. So in the next video, we're gonna do that. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget to drop a comment to get into the drawing for the new t-shirt giveaway. We just mailed out the one for our first giveaway winner. It took a little bit to get one in his size, but we made it happen. And let's do some fun stuff on this. We have to finish the rear suspension because there were some broken bolts in that. So maybe today I'll get the plasma cutter out and fix that problem. Get this thing back on the ground. Get the rest of the engine systems in, and we can drive this thing and feel the K-power. We need VTEC to kick, yo, or boy, or whatever they say. VTEC, kick.
Rhythm is a dancer, it's a source companion. People